This is the Rowdy Bugle from Hunter Specialties and Carlton Calls. Very simple bugle to use. It's just built off the principle of a single reed diaphragm internally. So I just use my lip and rest it on this shelf. As you depress your lip onto the latex, as by blowing a little bit harder, you achieve those higher notes, letting off for the lower notes. Very easy call to use. Simple bugle. If you want to chuckle on it, all I'm doing is short bursts of air to get that wah, wah, wah. So it's put it together with a bugle and the chuckles. So the reeds can be removed. They're going to wear out, and we make replacement reeds. Just a single reed diaphragm, slides in the top side like so. Pop it back in the cap. This is our Rowdy Bugle from Hunter Specialties and Carlton Calls.
Hi, this is the Quaker Boy, Bugle Boy Elk Bugle Call. You can use it as either an open reed or a closed reed call. And to use the open reed, depending on where you put your lip, you're going to get different sounds out of the call. That's with your lip up front. That's when your lip's right at the end. You combine the two and great open reed sounding call for locating. Put the cap back on. Just push it over the end of the reed. Quaker Boy, Bugle Boy.
This is the Mac Daddy from Hunter Specialties and Carlton Calls. When we developed this call several years ago, we had a lot of people that struggled using a conventional diaphragm in their mouth. So what we did is we put a single reed diaphragm and we put it externally. So much like you would blow a diaphragm call in your mouth by pressing up with your tongue for the high notes, letting off for the low notes, that's how you use this lever. As I depress this for the high notes, let off for the low notes, but it's all externally. So the consistency is unmatched. So simple bugle, I just hold the call down horizontally, and I'm just taking air volume. The more air volume I blow through the call, the higher the note. Less air volume, the lower the note. So to bugle, notice I don't have to waver this lever a whole lot. I just hold it down horizontally and just sheerly blow the air volume through it. Now to chuckle on the call, all I'm doing, or grunt, I'm just kind of just pumping the reed and going wah, wah, wah. Put them all together. If you remove this call from the grunt tube, it's now a cow call. Just depress the reed for the high notes, let off for the low notes. Very easy call to use. The Mac Daddy from Hunter Specialties and Carlton Calls.
Now, we all realize how important a grunt tube is, and we all know the great sounds that it produces, and you can also use a grunt tube for directional calling. But sometimes, especially in the heat of the battle, and that bull's close, and you're trying to pull it out of your vest or somewhere so you can blow it again, it's not always the easiest thing to do. We've got something to take care of that, and it's called simply the Qwik bugle. It's right by your side when you need it. It stretches out so you can bring it up to your mouth without moving your face around, and you can keep your eye right on that bull. And if you need to make one more call to get that bull to come through to you, now there's something else in using a Qwik bugle. Think of this. Not every elk sounds the same, and their volume and their tone changes because of the structure of the windpipe. If it's a big bull, he's got a big windpipe. If it's a smaller bull, not only is it shorter, it's not quite so big around. And you know what? It's just simple. It's called the Qwik Bugle, and it hangs on your side whenever you need it. It is right there, again, from Hunter Specialties.
This is our Whoppity Whacker grunt tube, which has a lot of neat special features about it. And to start off with, I'm going to talk about the tube tamer. The tube tamer goes around the end of it in a groove, and that helps to reduce the plastic vibration resonant sounds you get out of all plastic. It also has a rubber garment sleeve that goes over the end, and that helps reduce the plastic sounds too, but it also there so when you're walking through the woods, the brush don't hit the plastic, you get that pingy sound, so you alert the elk as you're coming. On this end we have what we call the vet system. The vet system has a spring inside this unique little mouthpiece, and what that spring does is when you blow air across that spring, it vibrates and it helps increase your volume, it helps stabilize your note changes from octave to octave, and it also increases and intensifies that high screaming note that elk can't resist. On the end you bugle into it has a smaller opening for people that like to bugle through smaller openings. It fits up against your lips. If you happen to have smaller lips, it makes it more comfortable. But if you like to have a bigger opening so you can do more lip balling, more growling, it has an enlargement ring that just snaps on. Now it fits more comfortably against your mouth if your lips and mouth are a little bigger to blow into. You just simply push your thumb against that edge and it just snaps off. It also has the capabilities of putting the Surefire mouthpiece on it. The Surefire mouthpiece is an external type call that just snaps onto the vet system. Now you can use it to use your upper teeth here, lower teeth below. Don't bite hard at first to get your low notes. Just blow and growl with your voice. And as you want your higher notes, you just bite harder and press that against your lower teeth harder to get the higher notes. It was designed for people that can't use the mouth call diaphragms because of gag reflexes. The Whoppity Whacker tube, a great tube for calling in elk.
You know, we demonstrated the fighting cow call and the Long Ranger, all that stimulating, real loud, high-pitched, aggressive type calling. But let's face it, when you get the bull coming in, maybe the bull of a lifetime, or maybe you even got a bull that's not quite there, maybe a little 5, 4 points, something like that, that needs a little encouragement to come on in. It's not usually the real sharp, aggressive sounds that's going to make that happen. But what will make it happen is the subtle, soft, very congenial type calling that elk do amongst each other, and it's soft like this. Now you can hear that nasal sound, that soft sound. It's not a real high pitch. It's not really loud. It doesn't vibrate in your ear, but boy, does it ever calm the bulls down. And you get that with the bull getter. And we've got a new reed in there. And there's one more trick I'll show you, but I don't believe anyone else has this. It is a textured soundboard. And that keeps this mylar reed that we've been talking about, the mylar reed, that keeps that mylar reed from hanging up. And at the same time, it gives it that softness, that confidence call that sometimes the bull needs to come right on in. Now that's the big body, that's the bull getter. And we also did one called the mini bull getter. You say, why are you building so many of them? Because each one has its own unique sound. Listen to this. A younger cow, maybe a calf, but it's just another sound. But again, it's got that soft tone to it that builds confidence. Here we go. The bull getter. Or if you want to get yet a different tone, the bull getter or the mini bull getter, both of them have a textured soundboard to give you that soft, subtle, confidence type call.